Right. Welcome in, everybody, to tonight's episode of Roll With It. Happy Halloween to everybody. None of us took the memo to do any kind of dressing up or knew about it, aside from me, and I didn't share. So, um, good DM. But
Yeah, no one told me.
It's
This
like
is
your wrist.
this is normal.
this is, generally we dress up for sessions. So, all right. We'll go ahead and hop in here with just a quick recap of last time we got together. So, last session, the group decided to change direction and instead of going down to the third level, decided to take the opportunity to rest and plan in order to combat the undead, thought to be vampire that resided in or was holding the book that you were looking for. You guys did receive a quick visit from Eli, and he talked to you guys about the plan as well, or about things that had been going on since he had indicated he'd been keeping an eye and noticed your several battles that you had taken place while you were going through the second level. And then you also received a incomplete journal of someone detailing their experiences while searching for somebody and um, encountering a powerful fiend in the lower levels, which, after fighting the vampire as well as its bugbear cohorts, you emerge triumphant. A little bit worse for wear, but afterwards Kerr decided that he would stay behind and ensure that whatever fiend was located below um, would not have an opportunity to escape by him blocking the pathway up through what he called a mini controlled earthquake. So, um, knowing that the area where you are residing right now was almost directly below the main hall where you would need to pass through in order to get to the entrance. He decided he would wait to enact his plan until Kovac had let him know that you guys had exited the halls, and then he would attempt to block the way to the third level, hopefully sealing in whatever was there, and then he would make his way out, provided he did not seal himself in as well. As soon as you guys exited, though, or opened the door and Rowan emerged, you were greeted by a pair of figures, a green scaled dragonborn that is wearing. Sorry. Wearing blue leathers, as well as a figure that is semi-illuminated from the sunlight coming in from the entrance of the cave. Is a feminine-looking figure with a red full-length duster, which looks to be some kind of black dark clothing underneath, as well as blonde shoulder-length hair that appears to be pulled back, and uh, she looks at you as you exit and says, "My goodness, it took you quite a while to make your way up here. Now, if you'll be so kind to hand over the Disciple of Mano and the book you acquired, we'll be on our way." And that is where we begin.
What? The disciple of what?
She points behind you.
Uh,
Game's paused.
Oh, sorry.
who are you?
I'll step to here.
Okay. Let's see here. She'll look at you and say, "Who I am is not your concern, but if I will speak to anyone, it will be one who was deemed worthy by the flame of Asgaroth."
While
mean,
they're
you-
chit, I said, while they're chit chatting, I'm gonna send a message, just non-verbally, through my sending stone.
Okay.
We're clear of the entrance, but we've ran into some potentially big trouble.
Coming.
Okay. So you're gonna start making your way.
Yeah, I'm going to book it.
Okay. Staying in your form itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna step over behind Kovac and hide.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll. 27.
27.
Okay. All right. Feel pretty hidden.
Do I have a knowledge on the flame of Ascaros? Is that who you said?
Asgaroth.
Asgaroth?
Yeah, Asgaroth. It's Asgorth.
A-S-G-O-R?
Orth. Yeah. You can make a in history or religion check at advantage. The name sounds familiar, like it's an important draconic figure that Mano would have told you about at some point, but you can't quite place exactly what it is. But you know it's an important draconic figure. Or powerful one, at least. It's not a name that's used a lot. That's why you're just having trouble placing it.
I mean, you were already speaking to me. I don't see the harm in answering just a simple little question.
What did you ask her again? Since
What her
you had
name
a lot
was.
of stuff. What her name was?
Yeah.
Okay. She'll look at you and, my name is no longer valid, we'll say. Those who follow the flame abandon who they once were.
That's a really long name.
Amusing one, I see.
I'll switch it to Chronic.
Mhm.
How do you know Mano? And what do you want with me?
She'll look at you and reply back in Draconic. The flame is one who followed Mano, but learned the truth and surpassed him. He will fulfill the destiny set before him. And he wishes for you to be part of that destiny. The fulfillment of Dragonkin's rightful place.
Quite sure what to say back yet. um. And how does the flame know about me?
He was once a follower of Mano as well. before your time.
Can I knowledge to see if I can remember if Mano had mentioned him in any context before?
Yeah, it'd be intelligence check. See if you remember any former disciples he may have mentioned. None that comes to mind. I mean, based on his age, it's possible. I mean, he was
Yeah.
he was elderly when he took you in.
Mano never spoke of another disciple named Flame. How can I trust that you are who you say you are? Anybody could know Mano's name.
If you wish to know the Flame's history or relationship with Mana, you're free to ask him. We do not question the Flame itself, but follow him wholeheartedly. He is the one that will unite Dragonkin under one banner and reward those who are faithful to him.
You've piqued my interest. However, the book is not something that can be given to you. It is promised for another.
Kind of narrows her eyes as you say, the Flame has asked us to retrieve the book and you. I would not seek to disappoint the Flame. You watch as like her hands just kind of seem to be consistently going through this like movement, almost like tracing symbols in the air, but not like it's just a consistent.
Does it look like
motion
she's
that she's doing.
casting a spell?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Seven. Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's not hard to notice itself, but I mean, some of the motions have almost like an arcane movement to them, like she's just holding on to something, but just not finishing.
Okay. What if we agree to give you the book, but we keep him?
You'll look from Rith to you. The disciple of Mano is the Flame's primary interest, but the book is something he desires as well.
Can I do an insight check on intentions to harm me?
Sure.
The rolls are going really well.
I don't know why I bother sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, she's someone who wants you and is demanding the book, flame stuff, the dragonborn that's just kind of sitting there by the rock. He looks a little twitchy. Um, yeah, I mean, she's definitely threatening everybody else, you feel like.
So I'll reach into my bag and pull out just barely the book that Kovac gave me to read when we were in the bathroom. And I'll be like, I've got the book here. So don't try anything crazy or else you don't get it. I slide it just down back in the bag just so she can't get a good look at it.
Okay. Okay.
I'll look at him and then back at her and back at him, back at her. Speaking of Draconic, I do not agree with my companion here in giving you the book. Again, the book has been promised to somebody else, and that is a promise I am not willing to break. I am intrigued by the flame and his connections to my master, Mano. And I'm willing to meet with the individual. But not at the expense of breaking a promise.
Okay. Make a persuasion or intimidation check. I mean, I guess it depending on what, like, I know you're trying to convince them to like back down, basically, right?
Yeah.
Are
So it'd be
you
more of a
doing it?
persuasion, I guess.
Okay. I mean, it just depends on whether or not you're trying to convince them that a fight would not be in their best interest, or if you're just trying to actually verbally convince them.
I'll do an intimidation. The fight's not in their best interest. That'd be
Okay.
the route
So
risk
you can
would
use
go.
your strength mod. You can use your strength
Oh,
mod for that.
okay.
If you're using intimidation to back them down, so
5.
okay. She will kind of.
I guess
You
if
see
I'm
from
trying
this-
to intimidate, I'll also pull my hammer down and just lay it down
Okay.
with the head
Gonna put it
on
right
the
in
ground.
front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. The motion that you go through when you pull the hammer out, you see the dragonborn there off to the side, like twitches just a little bit. He seems to be holding a glaive in his hands. And for a moment you see like his muscles just kind of tense up. But you also notice as he takes like a half step back. And she's been trying to hold this air of superiority, and there's a brief falter that you see in it for just a moment. She says, "Let me contact the Flame and see if he would be willing to meet at a alternate location."
I nod. I turn
She
back to
will-
Rowan and whisper, she's going to contact him. See if I can meet at an alternate location. I don't say it that well, though, I guess.
Right. So she takes a couple steps back. You see her do a few movements. And she waits. There's about 15, 30 seconds that passes. Kovac, you'll hear in your head. Eli's voice comes in. Everything okay? The situation looks a little tense. You're muted, by the way.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm not positive we can take these. There's something strange going on. And something to do with the... Oh, what was the name of it? What was the name of the word you said?
Asgaroth. Flame of Asgaroth.
Asgaroth. There we go.
Okay. Huh. Okay. All right. So nothing comes back as of yet. We'll come back to Rith here real quick. She'll step back forward. The Flame has agreed to meet you at the location known as the Pit.
I know.
He will approach. He will approach you in 3 days' time.
I look forward to meeting him.
And from the side over here, you watch as this guy just kind of emerges from the shadows, as well as a female that comes from the right. This guy looks to be a tiefling. Purple skin, long horns going back, wearing a white leathers. The female that comes up from here looks to be human-ish, you would guess. She's wearing like mottled green and black leathers, slinging a bow over her shoulder. The four of them just kind of gather, or the three of them gather around her. She says, "Until then," and they just, she says a few arcane words. There's a flash, and they are gone.
I'll step here just to be sure, and then turn around. Head out.
That was crazy. Wait, so what did you guys talk about?
I agree to meet Flame.
There's another flash of light as three individuals pop into the center of the cave after they leave. You see Eli standing there, flanked by a drow-looking woman in like black and white robes, and this ogre wearing chainmail, has a shield, and wielding a quite, well, what would be a large sword for the rest of you, but looks to be more like a long sword for it.
When they pop into my vision, like I just instinctually like grab for my dagger.
He's like, "Whoa, they're gone."
Yeah, it was really weird. Well, Rith, I guess if you want to explain what happened, that would be great.
Yes, they ask for me and Book. I not agree on Book, as made promise to Eli that Book is his, and fulfill honor for completing mission as requested. Agree to meet with Flame, as I am curious due to he is also disciple of Master Mano.
Eli will just pop up for a moment. Not to interrupt, but I don't want to intrude on this affair, since this is, of course, your own business to attend to. He'll look over his shoulder. Thunder asks if you'll just go inside. It's fine. We don't need you here. Sandy, if you'll go with him. Make sure he doesn't eat any of the kobolds, please. And the female will look up to the ogre and be like,
Give
let's
him some
go,
space.
big guy. Yeah. And when he says go in, and there's like, it's like, no, eat other people. Like, no, big guy. No, that's everything's fine now. You just go inside, and we'll head back home in a bit. And the two of them will kind of shuffle past through the doors there and go into the first level of the halls. And yeah, he'll go over towards you, Kovac, as you come up. Say, the book.
Yeah, I'll pull that out of my bag and hand it over.
Fantastic. So here's 2,500 gold right now for you guys. As soon as you have an opportunity, stop by the Pegasus, and I'd like to hear a full recap of, full accounting of what happened on the second level. I'm intrigued to know what you found, and to hear about your journey on there. So, but
Look forward to
I'll
meeting with you.
leave you to discuss whatever that was. Good day.
See you soon.
He will walk past and go into the halls.
He phased through the door.
Man, that was tense.
Wait, when did you get here?
Kovac said you were running into trouble, so I came.
We had it all under control. Wipes
see that.
the sweat from my brow.
I'll relatch my hammer.
Okay.
Oh, Kovac, I hope you didn't mind. I was just going to distract him with this book you gave me to read.
I have a feeling that wasn't going to work, but I admire the effort.
Hey, in my defense, they only asked for a book we found down there.
That's true. I heard that.
Oh boy.
They didn't specify.
While everybody's chatting, I'll hand out 500 to each person. 500 gold.
Okay.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Well, should we head back? I guess we can chat on the way back.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay. So you do find your horse is still in the cave, a little bit Curry or Kelner, and you can kind of tell that they're a little bit agitated. So it's they seem to have not been at ease through this whole situation. So, but you guys do find your horses and can begin your journey back.
So I wonder how long they've been following us.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, what they want with you, Rith?
To meet their leader.
What they want the
Other-
book for?
No idea. They said Flame said important to him and me. Not sure.
How did you get out of going with them now?
Told them no.
Did that work?
Yes. They left.
What did you tell them to get them to leave?
No, he just said that.
Inside check.
Yeah, go ahead. $16. I mean, not really a lie. As far as Rith is concerned, it's not really a lie. Yeah, no, seems to be truthful.
They must not have wanted the book
No.
that bad then.
Right.
Well, they did say to, and this is out of, they said to Rowan that I was more important than the book.
Yeah.
So you
That
guys
was
would have
the
heard
count.
that
Mm-hmm.
in common.
That the book was of interest to him, but Rith was the primary concern.
Rith, it's a good thing you got him to leave, because my next option was just to give you up, you know? Ah, I'm just kidding.
Side check.
What the heck? I was being serious.
There you go.
I would have fought them for you.
You sit there looking at him, trying to take him like at his face value, and then realize that Rowan enjoys being
Rowan.
what you read as sarcastic in one of the books. Doesn't really make sense to you all that much. You just say what you mean, but it is a joke. As like, he actually does care. Okay.
Ha 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 ha. I pat him on the back. Good, Rowan.
Ow. Ow.
Make a strength check to say on your
5
horse.
points of damage.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Well, Kelnorn, it is good to see you here.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm not going to leave you guys hanging.
Yeah, sorry to pull the panic button there, but I had no idea what those people wanted or what they were capable of, so.
It seemed like it was a good call.
I was about to suggest the same action, but you beat me to the punch.
So now that Eli has the book. You think they're going to leave us alone?
No, because Rith was more important to them than the book.
Yeah, I know.
Well, us they'll leave alone. It just seems like they
Oh.
just want Rith.
Okay. So what do we do about it?
Well, no offense, Rith, but I'm not letting you go to the pit by yourself.
Fair.
I'll fight somebody if I
Not-
have to.
Ooh.
Hold up my fists.
Fight in pit?
And you don't know what they want you for?
No. She said Flame trying to unite tribes under one banner.
Oh, well, that would seem to reason why they want the book.
Yeah.
True. Is that something that you have interest in?
Rith not deal much with other Dragonborn beyond Mano. So, not sure.
Fair enough.
But willing to listen.
Understandable.
Meet in 3 days' time at Pit.
How long did it take us to get here?
2 days?
It takes you it's actually just a full day's ride.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
You have to ride just a little bit longer than normal, but I mean, you guys will probably. Well, I mean, Curry, it takes you guys about 9 to 10 hours to make it there on horseback. If you
Would-
put the horses at a decent pace.
Okay.
Would be interested in help on research. Who Flame of Asgaroth is. Name familiar, but not know what it is.
That actually kind of crossed my mind to see if we could find anything maybe in town or whatnot. I don't
Go to
know.
the library.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a common knowledge thing or what, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt for us to try to look like we did for what we might find in the halls.
We could ask at the post office.
You do that too.
I'm getting a very big sense of deja vu here. Oh, that research didn't turn out too good last time.
Well, good news is I don't think we have to talk to Lady Tesseril this time.
Or go behind Eli's back.
I mean, we could talk to Lady Tesserol. She seems well connected. And she's on the way.
I guess it would just depend on like her limitations of knowledge as far as like, I mean, obviously she's very well knowledgeable on like arcane things.
Right.
So it would be like, I don't know. Who knows? That's an extra trip though. I think we would have to split up to do that again. Like One group head to her and one group head home.
Yeah.
Think it might benefit. I head there.
By yourself? Because we're all headed that way.
Isn't it like a split?
Not really. I mean,
Oh,
the road that you're taking leads you right, like you go right in front of the east part of um, Evening Star.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because the first time we went to the cave, it was from
Yep.
Evening Star.
Yep.
Okay. Mm,
We could stop
Go-
by there on the way through.
If we want to extend the ride into an actual 2 days, we can hit like the local tavern just for rumors. I mean, that's throwing wild, but we might get something.
And
Get-
instead of staying on the
I guess the biggest thing, I mean, we could always ask there, but I guess the biggest thing would be like, is this like a local thing or. 'Cause, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if we know where you're from, Riff. I don't remember if you ever said.
Yep.
Oh.
It was talked about briefly.
Oh, okay. I definitely remember then. I've got it in my notes here.
Yeah, he's from
Kilnor.
Mistledale.
From where?
Mistledale, it's up
Oh.
near where I'm from.
Is that near here?
It's a bit off. Quite a ways.
Kind of like Kerr, he's a bit off. What?
No, that's fair.
So let's I guess we could stop by Lady Tesro. We could stay in town and just go from Evening Star to back home tomorrow. That way we're actually staying in a bed instead of sleeping on the ground.
What's
Are
wrong with that?
we're moving while we're doing this, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, you guys have been riding. It's about like basically about a 45-minute ride from where you're at to Evening Star.
Or we could take an hour or two and talk an Evening Star and keep heading home after that.
I mean, we would get home. It might be after dark, but we'd
Yeah.
sleep in our own bed.
Good plan.
Would it be beneficial, like, if when we got to Evening Star, I'm pretty sure there was a bookstore there, wasn't there, that I thought Kovac went to the first time we were there? But anyway, would it be beneficial if we looked for a bookstore to maybe see if there was something,
On the history?
yeah, or just something on the subject, even?
If there was a bookstore, Kovac found it.
All right. Well, when we get there, I'm going to look for a bookstore.
Okay.
I will go
Anything else you guys
talk
were talking
to
about on the way
Lady
back?
Tesro.
Does this mean we're splitting up for the research?
Just in the same town.
Just an Evening Star.
Okay. No one's going to head home or anything. Start
Well,
stuff like
I
that.
mean, you know, the first one to leave any of us was you, so. What? Evening Star.
All right. So anything else you're talking about while during like the last 40-ish minutes or so of your trip?
No.
Okay. So you guys make the rest of the ride. Pull into Evening Star, passing by the tavern that's there. And so, Rowan, you said you're taking a look for a bookstore while you're in here?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a perception check. Natural 20. Okay.
Yeah, now it comes
You,
in.
you perceive that bookstore, man.
Literally
You don't
walked
find
into
one
this.
on the way. You don't find one as you're looking through. It hits you that you're like, oh, it's Diedluck.
Oh,
That's where Kovac found the bookstore. That's where he got Rith's beginning common book.
oh, okay.
Um,
Well, if that's the case, then I would.
but you do remember that Lady Tesserel she had quite the supply of books herself.
Oh,
So you do remember seeing books while you're there. It would just happen to be at her home.
I just thought, I mean, I guess since I know where that's at, then I will at least stop on the way there and ask about maybe a library or a bookstore. Just people that
At
live
Lady
there.
Tesserel's? Oh,
I mean, I guess I could stop. I could go by the inn even because I know, you know what I'm saying. Like,
right. Oh, well, what I'm saying is, I mean, you remember from your previous journey through the town because I think you and Lilith went down to the apple orchard at the end, or you and Kerr, right? When you guys
Yeah.
left the first
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
You went down to the apple orchard. I mean, you've made your way through that town before
Mhm.
and did not spot anything that resembled either a bookstore or a library.
Oh, okay.
There's the Constable's Hall, which is kind of like a town hall, and then there's Lady Tesserel's home. There's the inn, the apple orchard. A lot of the other homes are either there's like a basic general store, a tailor, a cobbler, basic stuff that they would need inside the town. Other than that, I mean, most of it's either some small family homes that are inside the town or shop fronts that are set up for uh, some of the local farmers to sell some of their collective goods. But
Okay.
nothing that resembles either a library or anything like that.
Okay.
I am headed to Lady Tesserow's.
Okay. Is everybody going there?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So you make a quick journey through town, pull up in front of Lady Tesserel's house. She does happen to have a hitching post there, so if you guys want to secure your horses, you can. And you're free to go up and knock on her door.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Woohoo.
Yeah, stop crying. It's just a joke.
Oh.
So you knock on the door. About 30 seconds later, opens and she's looking straight out, sees, I'm guessing, everybody behind Lilith or right around Lilith, and then looks down. Oh, well, this is a pleasant surprise. Good morning.
Good morning, Lady Tesserow.
Oh, come in.
Thank you. I'll go in.
She will kind of stand with the door open and allow for everybody to walk in.
I'll go in last.
You're going last. Okay. She'll shut the door after. Well, wasn't expecting company this morning, or else I would have prepared a few more. I do have some extra um, scones that are just made not too long ago. If you'd like something,
Hungry.
of course.
Thank you.
We
She'll
we
kind
have
of
come.
you see her kind of point towards the kitchen a moment and like focus there. And she's like, "Okay, if you want, we can go and sit down in my reading room, and I'm assuming you came by for something specific."
Yes, we have come seeking your counsel on a certain flame of Asgaroth. If you know any information,
Flame of Asgaroth. I'm not familiar with the flame of Asgaroth. I mean Asgaroth, the name itself does ring a bell, yes, but I've was this an individual?
um, as we were, we as you well knew, we went into the haunted halls again.
Yes.
Um, and as we were coming out, we were approached uh, by a lady that wanted to. She said she was there for the flame of Asgaroth.
Thought she was there for Riff.
She came in on behalf of the flame of Asgaroth. Uh, and she wanted to take our friend Rith here um, with them. And so we're trying to find out what information we can, and we figured you're very well knowledge. You're very well read person, so and you tend to have a lot of knowledge. So we figured it wouldn't hurt to visit on our way back through and see if there was any information you could give us.
She sits there kind of quietly for a few moments. During this time, you'll see like Rith a couple of plates come floating in, and sets down like some scones. There's actually also like a few pieces of um, like breakfast meats, like sausage and bacon, that are just on there.
Oh, she's my
Um,
hero.
And then, um, oh, if any of else is hungry, feel free to dig in. I'll have some other stuff brought out here too, while we talk. But I apologize. I'm not familiar with an individual referred to as the Flame of Asgaroth. She'll look at you. Say, are any of you familiar with who Asgaroth is?
I
She'll
was
kind of glance over everybody and stop on Rith.
I'll say in Draconic. The name sounded familiar, but does not ring a bell.
And then she'll look back at you, Rowan, as it looks like you were about to say something. She'll.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask just if you had information on Asgaroth, because I figure we could work our way to the flame if need be, or whoever it is that refers to themselves as the flame.
Yes. Well, Asgaroth is a different name for a lesser known divine entity called Ao. Is the it is mainly the counterpart of another individual called Io, who was believed to have created everything. Ao happens to be the draconic counterpart. So, never heard of anyone calling themselves the Flame of Asgaroth, or I'm not sure what that would even be. normally Asgaroth doesn't have a specific followers, but it's a name that's used by Dragonkin to refer to their, well, their primordial god, I guess is the best way to phrase it. I mean,
Okay.
there are potentially some texts out there that are specifically revolve around him. I apologize. I don't have any. They happen to be rare in most cases, just because it's not an entity that is well researched or much is known about. Um, but from what I remember, he's more of a, I guess, a precursor draconic god. And you said these were these other dragonborn like yourself, Rith?
One, I'll talk in Draconic. One was a green scaled dragonborn. The the female was more human, blonde hair and such, and said that he was trying to unite the dragon clans under one banner.
Interesting.
He, she claimed he was a disciple of my master Mano.
Hmm. Now I'm not familiar with him myself, but it's interesting if there's anyone that is claiming to be the flame of Asgaroth. I've like said, like sorry, I'm sorry, I've never heard the terminology used. Uh, I'm, I guess I would. You could certainly research on Asgaroth a little bit more, or AO, and see if you could come up with more information. Perhaps there's another tale or myth that I'm not familiar with myself, but I'm just vaguely familiar with the entity. She'll look towards you, Rith, and say, I mean, if perhaps if this individual is a disciple of your former master, um, perhaps he might have more information than I do.
Certainly, it challenges is reaching him prior to the setup meeting with the flame.
Oh, are you intending to meet with this individual?
I am. I have no concern not to at this point.
And where does your master, where your former master, live?
Where is he right now? Let me try to remember. Kesseldale, right? That's where he's at right now.
I believe it was Glen.
Or was
Well,
it Glen? He stayed in Glen.
yeah, he's like he's in like a, he lives outside of that particular village.
Yeah. Okay. The settlement of Glen. Uh, it's a dwarven mining settlement.
Oh,
He lives
yes,
outside
yes.
of it.
I'm familiar with it. They have some interesting goods that come from there. Um, yeah, the rest of you are catching like one side of this. It's really awkward just listening to her respond to whatever Rith is saying. But say, if hmm, and do you believe that speaking with him would be beneficial?
It would give me a sense of who Flame is and my master's feelings towards him.
Well, if you're she'll switch to draconic for this as well, and just for ease of you understanding. But she'll say, I can. I'm familiar with Glen. I've been there myself. I could take you there and have you back. Either I could have you back here tomorrow. I wouldn't be able to. Unfortunately, the magics that I would have to use, I would need to. I wouldn't have it available until the following day again. It's only, regrettably, it's something I can only do once per day. But I could take you by yourself or you with your companions. Unfortunately, your horses I would not be able to bring along with you. So I could bring you here once we're finished.
I'm not sure my companions need to accompany me to Mano. It may be better served for them to head to our home for additional research. Maybe one could come so that when we travel back here, we travel back together. Let me. I switch
your
back to
choice.
common. She is able to help me go to Mano. One other can accompany while others go search for more information.
Okay.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt. I mean, the more info we
Yeah.
can get, the better off we might be.
Anyone in particular you would prefer to come with you?
Kovac?
Sure, I'd be willing.
As you all have searched town before.
Okay.
That would be fine.
Well, I can prepare the spell if you'd like. If you want to give me a moment, let me go change into something that's a little bit more travel appropriate.
Of course, take your time.
So she will exit and close the door to her little sitting room area there, leaving you guys alone for a little while. You do see like another platter comes in, just kind of floating through the air, and it sets down like a collection of juices, water, coffee, all beverages that have been prepared while you guys are there. So there's 5 cups for you guys to grab whatever you want. But
Yeah.
I'll grab one of the waters, and then I'll start cleaning myself a little bit.
okay.
Yeah, I grab a little bit of drink and food.
Okay.
Maybe pack a couple extra scones in my pocket for later.
All right. So she will come back after a few minutes wearing a. Looks like she's put on a cloak as well as some brown leather breeches, and basically just like a white tunic. It looks like it's more traveling appropriate, but because I can very well. Kovatrith, if you two are prepared, I can take you to Glen, and well, yes, depending on how everything goes, I'll have you back here either tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, and you can begin your journey back to your home.
Excellent.
I'll have your horses looked after while we're here. So,
And we will let you know when we've made it back.
Should I give? No, never mind.
very well. Well, have a safe travel. Good fortunes on the road.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping us.
And not that I think that you won't, but look after my friends.
Of course. I can assure you that underneath my supervision, they will not be harmed.
Good. I'm just gonna go outside now and get my horse.
Of course. Safe travels.
Same
And to you.
All right. So she'll let you guys, the three of you, head out. Begin traveling back to Arabelle. Was there anything else you wanted to do in the town before you leave?
Should we hit this town's post office?
I think
If they have heard anything about it. I mean, it sounds like, uniting the tribes or clans or whatever. It sounds pretty big. There has to be something out there.
We can make a quick stop. I guess it wouldn't hurt. We've got a little time.
okay.
All right. So the three of you are heading towards the constable's office.
Yeah.
Okay. Head up there. Park your horses outside. Walk on in. There's a middle to late middle-aged man, black hair with a little bit of like salt and pepper happening around the edges. Very clean cut. Everything is pristine looking about his appearance. Looks up and sees the three of you come in. Says, good morning, and how may I be of assistance to you today?
Good morning, sir. I am Lady Lilith, and these are my friends. And we were just coming to check and see if you had any information on the Flame of Asgaroth. If you'd heard any rumors or anything of the goings on.
I'm not sure what the Flame of Asgaroth is, but no, I have not heard anything. Is this an individual, or...
Well, that answers our question. Thank you, good sir.
Have
Very-
you heard any stirrings in like the dragon blood communities, dragonborn, sorcerers, that type of thing?
We don't have many communities of Dragonborn in this immediate area. I haven't heard any. I have not had anything happening regarding Dragonborn or any kind of uprisings, if that's what you're referring to, or any kind of activities.
Okay.
But um, there are no communities of that in our area, particularly.
All right. Thank you.
Of course.
And one last question. What did you say your name was?
I'm Constable Trebit.
Constable Trevin.
Yes.
Do you get out and do many patrols yourself?
No, my duty is to oversee the town itself and make sure that anybody who is brought before me is tried fairly.
Okay. I just noticed your pristine uniforms, so um, I wanted to comment on it and say you looks very fine.
Thank you. Someone in my position should always look their sharpest, but yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for your uh, information, and we will head out.
Have a fine day.
I'll walk out and chuckle.
I walk out confused.
That's fair.
So off to home.
All right.
Yep.
Yep.
As the three of you are traveling back to Arabelle, is there anything you want to discuss?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I think you all said no.
Kelnor. I'm sorry we didn't you weren't able to do what you felt you needed to do.
Thanks. I'm sure I'll have a chance to go back.
We'll make it back one day.
And we'll vanquish the evil.
Yeah, that too.
Sure.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
just sounded cool.
We'll make it back and we'll complete your mission.
Okay. Yep.
That's it.
My head is on a swivel the entire trip
Just looking for.
to make sure we're not
anyone-
being like followed or watched in some manner.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh man, it's hard to read my new layout. 11.
Okay. Nothing that you can see. It's keep looking around, looking for any movements. I mean, there's like rustle of tree leaves here and there, bushes. Then you take a quick second look, just the wind. Animals. That's
I
about it.
am. I'm also gonna be keeping an eye out, but just talking casually about nothing at all.
Okay.
Oh, the usual.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Pretty much, but because I have the same kind of fear that
Sure.
they're still watching us.
All right. Go ahead and do your own perception check.
21.
21. Okay. Keep an eye out, keeping just kind of casually glancing over your shoulder, trying to make it not too obvious. Um, Nothing that you can see. You don't spot anything following you. Nothing. No individuals that seem to be getting too close to you. I mean, you pass a couple of people going the other way on the trip today, but you do see some people that kind of come onto the road looking from outlying farms that follow you for a little bit, but then turn off in a different direction when they reach what looks to be like a, for all intents purposes, like a medieval driveway going towards, another farm. But no one that seems suspicious about following you.
And I'll just kind of throw that into the conversation. Boy, this has been a nice, clear ride. Um, with all these trees and fields.
Yeah.
Small
Okay,
talk, small talk, small talk.
gotcha. All right. So, remainder of the journey for you will be mainly just kind of small talk and trying to appear as if you're being oblivious, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay. Roll a deception check as you're doing that, just to see how well you're disguising your looking abouts. 17. Okay,
17.
not bad. I mean, it's you feel like you're making sure that you kind of break up how you look over your shoulder, how often you look over your shoulder, making sure that you're not doing it in a predictable manner. Um, I mean, you feel like you're doing a pretty good job. You've done this before. So, if anybody's watching you, they shouldn't be any wiser that you're potentially aware of their presence. So,
All right.
all right. We'll switch over to Rith and Kovac then. So, the three of them leave and make their way out. You hear the clip clop of horse hooves pulling away from the house. And Lady Tesserol walks up. If you're prepared, I will take you to Glen now. I'll have a place that I can stay while I'm there. And when you're ready to return, just come back and let me know, and we can. I would prefer it if you can be gone from here no longer than a day or two. I do have some business to attend to myself soon, but
Yes, should be able to complete within a day.
very well. Well, if you will come stand near me, she's a fairly tall woman, about 6'1", so a little bit short, like just about an inch shorter than you, Rith, and she stands a few inches over you, Kovac, and just places her hands on your guys' shoulders. Um, Says a few words. You watch as arcane symbols kind of glow around the ground, and then she finishes emphasizing the last word, and um Rith, I don't think you didn't go through any of the gates with Kovac, right? No. Okay. Kovac, I mean, you've done some planar travel, so you're familiar with the feeling.
Sure.
Rith, you've never really experienced any kind of teleportation-ish magic. So for one minute you're standing there, and then it feels like you're suddenly just like pulled. Um, Feels like your insides are almost coming out first, and then complete disorientation for a moment that everything just kind of elongates, and then all of a sudden just poof, you stop all of a sudden. Um, and it's a sense of, it's like an amplified sense, like if you were on like an elevator or a roller coaster in real life, just that plummet down, free fall, and then just all of a sudden stop. Um, Unlike anything Rith has ever experienced before, and you feel the food and drink that you were had before just kind of swish around in your stomach for a moment, but you hold on. I mean, you're a fairly sturdy individual, but that was different. Um, Kovac, you're prepared for it. Teleportation's always a little bit different than planar travel, but a little bit more jarring. Takes a few moments for like your eyes to kind of start functioning again properly. It's like kind of blink a few times, and then you're like, here we are. And Rith, you are in the very familiar setting of this small dwarven village that is positioned near um, the Cormanther Forest. And you see familiar stone buildings that you recall from your childhood running around. You can recall a couple of spots where you got into some early fist fights with some of the other uh, dwarven boys and girls that lived here. And it's nostalgic for certain. Your Dariax's shop, you know where that is. You're probably 3 or 4 blocks from it, 3 or 4 village blocks from it. See the smoke kind of rising from the building itself, but um, you know that from where you're at, Mano's home was northeast from here.
Okay. I'll begin making that way then. I'll
Okay.
turn to her and nod and thank you in Draconic. Where will you be
No problem.
staying that we can meet up?
I'll be at the I'll stay at the tavern over there. The uh, the Iron Gauntlet,
Okay.
and if I'm not there, I do have some individuals that I know from here. I may check in on them, but that's where I should be this evening.
Okay. So we'll make our way to Mano.
Okay.
All right.
Anything you wish to discuss on your way out there? It's about a 45-minute walk.
Where are we again?
Are you asking me or him?
Yeah, Rith.
Okay. Okay.
This is Glen.
Ah, okay.
It's a mining town. Uh, grew up here with learned smithing with dwarves and Mano.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Mano lives in woods. Good trek. Practice English.
Sure.
Common.
It's coming along.
So I guess that's all. Unless he asks any specific questions, I'm just gonna work on.
Right. Is there anything Kovac wants to ask or inquire on?
No, I'm not.
Going.
Not right now.
That's why you
Okay.
came with me.
Just taking everything in. I'm guessing, just paying attention.
Yeah. I'm very interested in the surroundings and
Okay.
the atmosphere and whatnot.
So. All right. So, about 45 minutes later, I mean, Rith, it's like it's like you never left. You remember the path or the trail that you have to take, making your way through, and before long, you come upon a very modest wooden building, more like a shack to a certain extent, but it is. It looks like it's in the time frame that you've been gone with. You can see a little bit of disrepair that's started to happen in some of the areas. A little bit overgrown in small spots. Like you can. There was an area outside that you remember that he started to teach you the ways of combat, um, as best he could. Um, Places where you remember sitting in as he instructed you on the history of Dragonkin itself, lessons of dealing with the draconic gods, a lot of stuff that just comes flooding back to you from growing up. And um, the door to the front is currently closed, but you do see like a gentle pillar of smoke just kind of rising out from the chimney that's over the top of the pitch of the roof.
I'll walk up to the door and knock.
Okay.
Well, no. I mean, I've never knocked before, so
Just going in.
I'm just gonna go in.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it'd be like visiting a parent's house, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
knock when I go visit my parents, so
True.
I'll
So-
open the door and first thing I'll say is Mano. Yeah, I'll say it in Draconic.
Right.
Mano, I have returned from my adventures.
Okay. So there's a brief moment when like the door just opens that you hear, huh! And then Rith. Oh, my boy, you've that was fairly brief. Kovac, as you walk in, there's this is a very small. The interior isn't very large. There is a kind of a general room that looks like it takes care of most everything. You can see a little what looks to be a kitchen area, fireplace burning off to the left. There does appear to be a couple a couple of doors off to the right that go to some other rooms, but everything in here is very minimalist. Just enough furniture for people to sit at, and a very elderly looking dragonborn sits in an old but comfortable looking chair to a certain extent. Um, the color of his scales seems to have faded to a mostly white at this point. And as Rith says he's home, you see him just kind of get up, a little bit stiff, a little bit slow, but still just rises. Little hunch to him, probably about 5'9", 5'10", with his height right now. Looks like he was probably taller when he was younger, but he looks at you and says, was less time than I was expecting for you to be gone.
I am only here to seek advice. I am still learning the ways of the world. I have brought a friend. This is Kovac. He does not speak our language, but common is still difficult for me to grasp, though he is helping me along with some other companions.
And these companions that you've found, are they worthy of traveling with you, mighty, indeed, in valor?
Yes, in many ways, and yet no, in many others. It is a complicated group, but
Oh.
I have found that the differences of them have helped me better understand the world that I am traveling through.
Good. Strength comes from many places. It's good to remember your draconic strength and the power that lies within you, but if you can learn something from others that you travel with, then I'm happy to see that you are growing. You said you've come for advice.
Yes, I had an encounter this morning with a group way far south. We had teleported with another individual, Lady Tezzeret, to meet with you. I encountered somebody who said they were a a follower of an individual named the Flame, who was a disciple of yours. He claims to be the Flame of Asgaroth.
Ah, a flame of Asgaroth has no true followers. Pure nonsense. You said they were a follower of mine.
Yes.
Mm. By Bahamut's scales. And how did you come across this individual?
They tracked us down at the haunted halls where we were adventuring as a group.
They tracked your group down?
That is correct. And knew me to be your disciple.
You see his face just kind of sneers up in like an angry, almost silent snarl. Well, I had hoped, honestly, to keep him from learning of you. He must have eyes or ears in places around here, perhaps in town.
Who is he?
Come, sit. Come, bring your friend as well. I'll relay. Um, well, how much do you wish him to know?
I mean, as much as he's willing to
You trust him.
provide.
You trust your this individual with you.
I do. I trust that he will be discreet when needed, and he has provided me with other insights into things, strategies that I had not considered outside of strategies in battle and outside of battle.
Very well. Well, come sit. He'll look towards you, Kovac, and say, "Please come and sit, and let us speak plainly of these matters. And I will tell you of this former disciple of mine." He'll kind of walk and grab grab a little bit of food and just set it on the small table that's there, and pull over like a little stool that's there and kind of set it there for you, Kovac, as he sits down in one of the chairs, and
Thank you.
motions to you, Rith, to take a seat.
Yep, I will.
So, um, I will speak in the common language as well for this, but this individual that you're referring to, his name is Skirod. Skiiirod. So he impressed me in his youth, and he was interested in learning more about our kin. And for a time, he lived with me, and I taught him the same as I taught you about respecting and honoring the ways of both the Queen of Dragons and the Platinum Dragon, gleaning strength, honor, courage, ferocity, savagery from both halves. And he was volatile, seemingly raging inferno underneath that only seemed to take in bits and pieces of what I taught him. And I dismissed him as a disciple several years after coming into my teaching. He proved to be unwilling to let go of the absolute primal nature, refusing to learn and grow, to, as I taught you, gain strength from whatever arenas you can to become like a true dragon, noble, proud, strong, savage, all of these things. Power and ferocity was all he seemed to care about, and unfortunately, I had to send him away. And he has attempted to reach out to me a few times shortly before I found you, but I'm unsure as to why he would be referring to himself as the Flame of Asgaroth. Never heard of
He
such a title.
he their disciples said he try and unite clans.
Yes, he did have well, as I said, his desire for power was what drove him. He was curious into ways to become more like our primal kin, like a dragon, a true dragon. And he seemed unwilling to accept his own limitations. So I'm sorry, I'm not sure where he would have gotten this idea of being. I'm assuming he believes he is a disciple of Asgaroth, uh, although that is it shows his true ignorance that he would refer to himself as the Flame of Asgaroth when that was a name that was given to him by. I'll look towards you, Kovac. Sorry to say, but the some of the lesser races that referred to our patron. We've always known him as Ao. But he's not specifically worshipped, um, as he is not one that interferes in our world.
Why is Skirod interested in me?
Um, I'm not entirely sure. I would say that. I mean, he and I have bad blood between us. Um, maybe an attempt to prove himself better than me. Um, but I have not spoken with him in 15, 16 years. I'm unsure as to what he's done during that time frame. I've metaphorically washed my hands of him. Did he ask to? So he was interested in you.
Me and book we found for other patron.
What was the book?
I look at Kovac. So I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I lost the name of it. The book would have enabled him to unite the Dragonborn clans a little easier.
He looks a little bit like taken back for a moment. A book to use against dragon kin?
It gives the user a certain amount of charisma.
Ah. He. Okay. I think I understand your meaning.
It would help him manipulate individuals he
Sure.
seeks to control.
He. One of the things that one of the things that I guess convinced me to bring him in was his powerful personality. I would not say he was necessarily the smartest or the wisest, but he did know how to say the right words. Um, and he was ferocious. He was indeed strong. Um, one that I would have considered potentially a worthy follower. He'll look towards you with close to you. But unfortunately, his ability to see reason was lacking. I would understand why he would want this book. But you say it's not specifically for Dragonkin itself.
Far as I know, I don't know a whole lot about it. It was just a job we were given to retrieve the book.
Interesting. He'll look towards you, Rith. I would speak with the individual who gave you the job and ensure that it does not specifically affect our kind. If so, I would exercise caution in speaking with him. Skirod, that is. So, and these individuals that came after you, I'm obviously you did not go with them if it happened this morning, but what transpired after that?
We meet, uh, spoke with them, agreed to meet Skillrod 3 days from now in city we stay at for greeting.
Hmm. Well, your decisions are yours to make. I would myself not recommend it, but unfortunately, I would not. I do not wish to tarnish your ability to have an open conversation with him. I would just advise you to be wary.
Why I seeked your counsel.
Well, looks at you. You've already proven to be a far more capable disciple than he was.
Wrist straightens up a bit from that.
You are a proper protege. It makes me proud.
I nod.
I'm not sure if I have anything of his still here, but let me look. He'll slowly rise up, and C takes a moment to kind of straighten as much as he can, tries to push his shoulders back and like confidently strides away at a slow but albeit determined pace towards the one of the doors and opens and goes in. The door kind of shuts behind him, but
What time is it in game? Would it be like noonish?
no, not even. I mean, it's probably close to 10.
Okay.
It's you're still before lunch.
Okay. Well, he's out looking for something. I'm gonna begin making lunch.
Okay, just using some of the food he's set out.
That and yeah, because I'm, I'm sure there's a kitchen here.
Yeah, I mean, he set out
It's-
basically some dried meats that he has, as well as
Yeah.
some bread. But yeah, you know where stuff is in here, so
Okay. I'll make a meal for him.
okay. All right. Kovac, anything for you while he's briefly gone?
No, I'll sit patiently.
Okay. All right. So he comes back, probably about 10 minutes later or so. He comes back. Sorry, I did not have much of his left. Only a few items that were his early on. But he slides over, looks to be like this wooden disc that looks like it's a uh, crudely shaped out amulet of like Tiamat. So it's like a 5-headed dragon that's on there. It's very, very rough. Say this was one of the first things he made while he was here as part of his devotion. He always kind of leaned towards Tiamat more than Bahamut, but so I'll pass that over, and then also a what looks to be a decently made dagger. I'll say this was one of the first items that he created as well at the inside the dwarven town. He studied with a different smith than you, but he did not quite take to the craft as well, but showed some promise at the beginning. Just seemed impatient. Didn't quite have the temperament for crafting. And he'll point towards the mall on your back. Items like yourself. Say, I'm not sure if these will help you in any way, but perhaps you can make some use of them.
Thank you. I will see what may come of them.
I will do a bit more searching later and let you know if I find anything else. I can have it sent to where you're staying now.
Yeah, I'll give them the address or the
Okay.
location.
Okay. So you've made food for him as well? Or
Yeah.
did you make food for everybody or for him?
Specifically for him.
Okay. He'll come back out and see the plate sitting after he gives you stuff. Ah, thank you. You honor me. He'll sit down and begin to eat.
Okay.
Say, anything else I can answer for you right now?
That is all that I had. I say that in Draconic.
Okay. He'll look towards you, Kovac. Rith wishes me to treat you as an equal here, so if you have any questions for me, I would be happy to answer to the best of my ability.
The only question I'd have is what would Skirod gain by uniting the Dragonborn? What motive would he have for doing this?
Well, say I guess I would inquire. Did he? What did they say specifically his goal was? And he'll repeat the same question in Draconic towards you, Rith. Say, did he want to unite Dragonborn, as they refer to us?
Shit, I don't remember.
It'd be an intelligence check if you want to try to remember.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. 18. Okay. Um, they did refer to Dragonkin.
Dragonkin. Okay. I'll speak it in common. Dragonkin.
Hmm. Well, I would say that his intention is probably not. I mean, I'm unsure as to how he would accomplish his goal. He sounds like he's more interested in uniting all of dragons, um, as you would refer to them. So what he would gain by that would, I mean, if you could unite all of the dragons together, then obviously you would have a quite the formidable force. Um, he'll look to you and say, as part of our teachings when it comes to Dragonkin, say I do not mean any disrespect towards you or the rest of the kind that Rith travels with right now, but we do believe those of us that are descended from dragons to be uh, innately superior to the other races that do not have draconic blood flowing through them. As one can witness a dragon and see the sheer majesty and awe that they project, it's hard to deny their superiority. But um, how he would accomplish such a thing, I'm not sure. But if he were able to, that would, with someone of his limited understanding of the way that the world works, that would be a frightening proposition. So I'll speak plainly. Imagine if the village idiot was suddenly control of an army.
Point taken.
I would say he's slightly more competent than that, but my opinion of him is low. Anything else? Well, you're free to stay here for the day if you wish, or the night. I'm not sure when you plan to leave, but if your travels call you to the road, I will not detain you. But it is good to see you again, Rith.
As it is you. We plan to leave tomorrow, as the teleportation spell requires another day.
Yes, quite powerful magic.
Would like to visit Hammerhawk, but after lunch.
Of course, he is still in the same place as always. I'm sure he would appreciate seeing you again. So please, he'll point to both of you. Help yourself to whatever you find. Say,
Appreciate the hospitality.
yeah. And as you're sitting there, he'll ask you about your travels thus far, what you've seen, what you've done, the other people that you've met, and whatnot. So
Yeah.
you can
I'll
spend
spend the rest of that time till a little afternoon, probably going over what I've been up to and who I've met.
Okay.
Tell a little
Do
bit
you want
about
to
each of
speak in
them.
Draconic or in Common to him?
I'll speak in Draconic as we go through this
Okay.
because it'll just be easier for me.
Right. Okay. So, Kovac, they're speaking in, I mean, obviously a language you don't understand. So, I mean, you have the ability to pull out a book if you really want to or whatever. But, um, so, yep.
And
Okay.
he will do that. As respectfully as possible.
Right. No. Yeah. So. Okay. Come back to you guys here in a little bit. So. All right. Lilith, Kerr, Kalnoran, Rowan, you guys are making your way back towards Arabelle. Are you keeping up a good pace in order to get there hopefully before sundown, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
so you make your way, traveling the rest of the way, keeping up a decent pace. I mean, it's a beautiful day outside, so you don't have to worry about any kind of inclement weather. You have like a bit of a tailwind even, so it's like the horses seem to have a slightly easier time trotting about. And you make your way into town. Probably shortly after dinner time, so in between getting close to 6 or so, 6:30 in the evening.
Right.
What would you guys like to do first as you get back in?
Stable the horses. Then should we? I guess it's a bit late, probably to head to the library. Should we head home and then stop at the post office on the way by, maybe see if they have any information?
It might be too late there.
Might be there too,
Yeah.
but it's on the way.
True. I'm up for it.
Where's the library?
It's across town.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna stop for food.
It's good.
We can do that too. That's also on the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll follow you two.
No, I insist. I'll follow you.
Okay.
So I'll start walking.
Okay.
And they can follow me.
Yep.
Nope, I'm following Kerr.
Excellent. All right. So where do you guys want to go to?
We're gonna head towards the post office.
Okay.
Just to see if anybody's still there.
Okay. All right. So you make your way through town. Make your way towards the post office. Go inside. I mean, there are normally people stationed there throughout the entire day. At least some sort of guard that's posted there in case anything comes up. So there's always a watch. But it is. But yeah, go in. There is a individual behind the counter. You've seen him before. It's George with a J.
George, my friend.
Good evening. How may I help you today, citizen?
Well, we just gotten back in town, guard, and we were searching for information. Have you heard anything about the Flame of Azeroth? And I'm going to say that really creepily.
No. I Is that some sort of like spell or weapon or something or what?
No, it's a dragonborn. The
Oh.
Flame of Azeroth.
You know, I feel like you're not taking these questions seriously, Willis.
I mean, it sounds like a cool name. Um, but I mean, no, I haven't heard it about that. Um, should I have?
Any any um uh stirrings and like or rumors uh from elsewhere making their uh way to your ears about like the gatherings of Dragonborn or Dragonkin. Uh, it seemed ill aligned.
He like takes a moment and like pulls up like a file and kind of starts sorting through some of the papers. Anticore, but that seems got word of. Dorm somethings. No. Uh, Goblin. Um, Nothing in here that I have in the reports that's come in about like dragons or dragonborn specifically. Um, just standard goblin raids, some monstrous creatures coming down from the storm horns, um, bandit activity. You know, um, typical
Those,
stuff we deal with.
those all seem familiar.
Yep, typical stuff we deal with.
Oh, you um mercenaries yourself, or
Uh, we're the Outlanders. We registered here maybe 2 weeks ago.
oh, okay. Sorry. I'm not
Have you heard
familiar
of
with all
us?
the new charters that come in, but good to hear. Congratulations. That's pretty awesome.
Thanks, not Shelby.
We like to think so.
Yep,
Do you,
sure
the three
is.
girls that went missing?
What was
You,
that?
the three girls that went missing?
Oh wait,
Yeah, that happened. Um, I heard that got rectified or solved.
That was us.
Oh, yeah, grisly piece of business that one. That
Yes, it
was
was.
um, yeah, I heard the guy who did it yeah, sounded like he got what he deserved.
He
I'm going to walk out.
That he did. That he did.
he tripped and he fell, I swear.
I mean, unless he fell into like a den of rabid bears,
It was
might have
close.
heard it looked pretty bad.
All right. Well, we just wanted to come and check and see what kind of information you had, but
Yeah,
we
sorry I couldn't be of more help.
all right.
I can I can leave a message here and have the day shift take a look at it for you too, see if they have anything that comes in.
Yeah,
They
that
can
would
let
be
you know.
great. That would be
All
great.
right, I'll takes this like a quill and takes a piece of parchment out. Okay, Outlanders, Dragonborn or just dragon activity.
I
Dragon Kin.
can't.
Dragonkin. Okay. All right, Dragonkin activity. let know. And assuming they've got your contact place,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shelby
Okay.
knows where to find us.
Oh yeah, Shelby. She's yeah, she's on the day side. Yeah. Um. Oh. No, she wasn't here today. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll. There you go. I'll write it down.
Thank you, George.
You're welcome. Outlanders, have a good evening.
Guard. And I walk out.
See you later, not Shelby. And I walk out.
All right.
Food.
All right. Food.
Let's-
All right. So you guys just gonna stop at one of the local taverns or dining halls that they have?
Yeah. Where are we stopping?
Excellent question.
A tavern on the way.
Okay.
I was gonna say like a food stall on the way, but I'm pretty sure we're past that part of town.
Yep.
Unless they're
Unlikely.
unless they would just be randomly through the town.
Well,
Like one of those hot dog carts.
right. They
Food truck.
are. I mean, finding one that's like open at this point would probably be a little bit more difficult. But I mean, you guys know of a couple of taverns close by here that you can visit that you went by when you were doing the investigation into the 3 missing girls. So if you guys are looking for some place that you're familiar with, you can find one.
Yeah, wasn't like one of them like the Red Dragon or something? I don't know.
There's the Red Sword,
The red. That's maybe that's what I meant. I don't remember.
because there was like the bent bow, the Red Sword.
I know there was one kind of
Orange Banner.
centerish, like southernish, that would kind of be not so much out of the way to go from the post office to the house.
Well,
Hey!
so there are a couple of places that you know of nearby here. Like the Orange Banner is basically just kind of down the street from where it's over
Wait,
here.
I think that's the one I meant.
The Orange Banner.
I think so.
And there's
Yeah,
also
it's the Orange Banner.
soldiers,
Yeah.
the soldier's boots is where you guys got the catered food from for Kelnoran got. But yeah. You have the pit, the bent bow, the red sword are kind of all down in that area. But yes, the Orange Banner is kind of right here.
Yeah, that's the one that I meant. I thought
Yeah.
it was red, but it was orange.
Yep. The Lame Camel isn't too far from where you guys are too, and that's where you went to dinner with Shelby. But so, Orange Banner.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can make your way towards the Orange Banner.
Yep. There I am.
Excellent.
Oh no!
There goes everybody.
No!
Everybody.
I'm running away from
Don't
you.
worry, I got it. I hate that it always starts with this one having everything selected.
Good times right there.
We ran away from you.
I don't blame you.
All right. So you guys head there to get food. Come back over towards Rith and Kovach then for you guys rest of that particular day. So Rith, you guys enjoy your time there. Share with him kind of an abbreviated version of everything that you've done, or at least in like Rith fashion, just kind of getting straight to the point.
Yeah.
And you guys enjoy lunch. So a couple hours later, probably shortly after noon at this point.
Yeah, I'll head back, make our way back to town.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna just spend, I guess as we go, once we get there, I'm gonna just go visit Derilax and say hi.
Okay. Did you wish to go over anything with that, or is it just more of
No, just a
a
general meet and
hello?
greet. Yeah, we don't
Okay.
really need to spend a lot of time on it. Just saying hi since I'm in town, and let them know
Yep.
I'm doing fine and the mall's doing great.
Okay. So, I mean,
And
he'll ask to take a look at it, just make sure everything is
yeah,
still in place, and um, commend you for your fine ability of keeping of good upkeep of your weaponry. Um, so Kovac, you'll meet him. He's kind of a burly, squat dwarf, um, very gruff, black hair, just kind of bald on the top with a little bit of hair that comes around the side, a beard that comes down into two different braids, kind of comes up and around to keep it away from like his chest everywhere while he's forging, so that way it doesn't get singed or anything. But yeah, I mean, you take a look around the shop. I mean, his weaponry looks quite good. Surprisingly, like his quality of weaponry, you get a actually just make a perception check for me as you go in there, Kovac.
Sure.
A 10. Okay. Um, you take a look around just as they're kind of talking and catching up, because I'm assuming you're talking in Dwarven to him. Rith?
yeah, I will after I introduce.
Okay. So actually make that perception check with advantage then for Kovac. Give me one more.
Okay.
Just because. Nice. Nice. I like it. So 10 it is. You take a look around, and I mean the quality of weapons in here are good. Um, the quality it does actually kind of remind you of like when you're stepping out to Smoking Yeoman, um, your favorite blacksmith that you've encountered a few different times.
Sure.
Gives you kind of an appreciation for like the work that he does as well, considering it seems based on just your first hand glance right now that it's pretty on par. But yeah, you guys can spend some time there if you'd like. But depending on how long you want to stick around with, he'll ask if you have some time to give him a hand real quick.
Yeah, so I'll mention to Kovac that I'm gonna chill here for a little bit, just kind of work. If you want to go to the inn, um, maybe grab 2 rooms and touch base with the lady on departure if she's there.
Yeah,
So
I can do that.
all right.
Okay. So he'll have you help out with kind of doing some finishing work on blades, sharpening up, fixing a few things, doing some like leather wraps and whatnot. But a lot of the finishing work that as he's continuing to forge other ones. But since he knows you don't have a ton of time to start something brand new for him,
Yeah.
but yeah, he appreciates your help as you're in there. Go ahead and just give me a give me a just give me a strength check. Or actually, sorry, dexterity check with your proficiency bonus. Nice. 21. You you do a pretty good job of just doing some of the finer work that he needs to have done. So, yeah, it's a good time. You have. It's nice to get back into a proper dwarven workshop where you're familiar with everything, you know where things are. It's pretty it's pretty satisfying. Not quite as satisfying as swinging them all, but still good. You remember enjoying this. So, Kovac, you're heading back to the Iron Gauntlet then, where she's at.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you'll get there. It's probably mid-afternoon at this point, but after they kind of talk for a little bit, and then he sticks behind to kind of help out with a few things. Make a perception check as you get into the gauntlet. See if you-
Here we go again.
I know. Good. 4. You don't see her in here. There's some dwarves in here at this time of the day. Not too many. It's fairly unoccupied right now, since they're still in the middle of the workday. But
I'll head up and talk to the keeper then.
okay. So they'll kind of look at you and be like, look like you could lose a little more sun.
Yeah, you know, my skin doesn't like it so much.
You ain't one of those drow fella, are you?
Nope.
All right. Yeah. What can I get for you?
2 rooms would be good for the evening.
2 rooms. All right. Any preference? You want them next to each other, far away from each other?
Yeah, close is fine.
All right. 2 rooms. You gonna need food or anything like that for tonight, or do you want to take care of that separate?
Yeah, I'll take care of meals now. Sure.
All right.
For
A
both.
couple meals, 2 rooms. Be 3 gold altogether.
Oh, okay. I'll give him 3 gold, and also has a lady Tesserol taken a room yet?
Yeah. He points back into the corner. Yeah, she's over there.
Oh, okay. Missed her when I came in.
No, it's all right. I mean, it gets kind of dark in here sometimes, but yeah, she's back over there.
Much appreciated.
Sure. Just come back up when you want your food, and he'll hand you a couple of keys, and like he hands like there's 2 tokens that he puts on there too. Says just turn those in when you want your meals.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sure.
I'll head over then to Lady Tesserol's corner.
Okay. She'll see you approaching. Go Batch. I hope everything went well.
Yes, was informative. I think Rith got what he came for. He stayed back. He's doing some blacksmithing right now, so.
Oh, well, I mean they do quite a bit of that here.
Yeah, the craftsmanship looks top notch.
Well, and when you have decades and upon decades to perfect your craft, it's one thing the dwarves are known for. But I assume you picked up a room for yourself?
Yes, and for Rith, we'll both stay the evening. And I don't believe we have any other business, so whenever you would like to head back, we're
Okay.
ready when you are.
We can head back at first light if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay. Um say do you well since we are I could potentially have the horses brought back to Arabelle for you if you want me just to take you there.
Oh,
Unless you want
that
to have the travel time yourself, that's up to you.
no, that would be very convenient if you could do that. Sure.
Certainly, yes, um I can arrange for that. Just
Oh,
in one
that's
moment.
greatly appreciated. Thank you.
She'll just kind of put her head down and make a few motions, and you see her lips just kind of move slightly. Okay. Um, I it's been arranged. Provided you don't need them tomorrow, they should be there the following day.
That sounds great.
Very well. Um, well, as like I said, at first light, I can take you to um Eastwatch. Sound good?
Oh, yeah, that'd be just fine.
Fantastic. Unless you have a separate gate that you want to be at.
No, that'll be more than sufficient.
Very well. So if she'll ask if you're willing to talk about, she'll ask what you know, just kind of get your general opinion on the town thus far. Just make small talk
Oh,
with
yeah, sure.
you.
Yeah,
So
I'll engage in chit chat. Definitely.
she won't necessarily ask about the meeting since it's Rith's thing and say so. Like, say, I'm curious, but I feel like that would be intruding on his personal affairs, and I don't wish to.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if he wants to share, he will.
Indeed. He seems very well. In my dealings with him, he has been very direct, which is appreciated. So,
Yeah.
all right. So she'll just small chat with you as you want. Otherwise, I mean, if there's no conversation, she's happy to peruse the items that she has as well. Like she has either some scrolls or some books that she could pull out as well. But
Perfect.
so Rith,
Yeah, and
you'll
I'll definitely be hanging out down here until Rith gets back. So
keeping your eye on the door then, kind of.
yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. So, Rith, you spend a couple of hours there helping out. As soon as it comes around dinner time, Dariax just says, thanks you for helping out. Says to keep up the craft. You're doing a great job. Gives you a pat on the back and wishes you safe
Adele,
travels.
you as well.
No.
I'm head out to the end.
Okay. Make a way to the Iron Gauntlet and Kovac, if you're paying attention, Rith kind of stands out, so he's not exactly being sneaky, I'm assuming, as he comes in.
Yeah. I'll wave him down.
Head over.
Okay.
Evening.
Hello. I'll
Good evening, Rith.
pass over his room key and meal token. We're set for the evening and to head out first light.
Wonderful. How much? Oh,
Oh, don't even worry about it. You've returned the favor many times.
appreciate it. My lady, may we pay for your services?
Oh, no, I mean if you're willing, I may call in a favor at a later time.
More
Of
than
course.
willing.
Good. I hope your journey has proved to be informative.
It was, yes.
Good. Well, uh, should you have need of anything, my door is open. I will help to the best of my ability. But
Not,
otherwise,
not at
have a
this time.
good. Okay. Well, like I said, if anything in the future should come up, My door is open. Provided I'm there, of course.
The chuckle. Of course. Going to eat and lay down. Feeling off.
That's understandable. Probably been a bit of a interesting day.
Yes, fought vampire. Fought lots of stuff.
Kind of look at you and be like, you do look a little paler around some of your scales there. Are you feeling okay?
Little off. But okay.
Well, okay. Um,
Drained.
yes, well, if anything, if you don't feel like yourself in the morning, potentially, I would potentially look at seeing a temple or a priest that you can appreciate. But
Mm. Noted. He'll seem hesitant about the priest thing.
But yes, food would be fantastic. I've dined here a few times. Quite excellent. So she'll get some food as well as you guys, and Rith, you head up to your room afterwards.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Get a little extra sleep in.
Okay. Kovac, anything for you for the evening after you eat?
Nope. Gonna take a nice, quiet evening.
All right. So it gets louder in the bar as the evening comes in, as a lot of the dwarves come in from working in the mines or working as at the smelters or the foundries or the blacksmiths. So it does get louder. Music happens. A lot of dwarven escapades. So if you're looking for a quiet evening, you might have to retire to your room a little earlier than anticipated.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's still, I mean, it's interesting to watch for sure. But all right, back to the other three for your guys' evening after you get done at the Orange Banner. Anything you wish to do? As it's probably close to, I mean, it's getting into like actually past sunset into the night at this point.
Nah, I just planned
Heading
on
home.
going home.
Okay.
Same.
All right. So you guys head back. Get your evening's rest in as well. Kovac and Rith, you guys get your evening's rest in. Rith, when you awaken, you feel fairly revitalized. Some of the puncture marks that you had near your neck seem to be closing up fairly well. Any hit point loss that you have is recovered.
Okay.
So
Do I gain that hit points back as well, or do I spend? Okay.
yeah, no, it's. I mean, you get them back. So
Okay.
but everybody else completes a long rest. Pick your spells for Kerr if you'd like for the day.
Working on it.
All right. So first light comes around. If you guys come down in the Iron Gauntlet for Kovac and Rith, you guys will see Lady Tessrildel with her traveling clothes on, ready to go again. And she will greet the two of you. Good morning. Rith, you're looking much better this morning.
Feeling much better.
Good, good. sometimes a good rest does the body good. So, to the Eastwatch Inn.
Oh. Not. Yes.
Surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was. I had spoken with Kovac about this and forgot to include you. My apologies in
That's
that
normal.
regards.
She's part of the group
He's
now.
used to it.
Yep, she's one of us.
One of us. One of us.
Uh,
But yes, I've made arrangements for your horses to be taken back to Arabelle. So they should be there. Not today, but the next day. And instead, I can take you to in front of the Eastwatch Inn if you'd like. And Kovac thought that would be helpful.
yes. Very.
Very well. Um, I suggest we make our way outside of town. They can sometimes get a little bit uncomfortable when people just disappear. So, um, let's go this way. She will walk out of the Iron Gauntlet and head kind of southwest out of the city until she probably gets about quarter mile from the city. And then she'll say, this should be good. And hold on. She'll put the hands on you guys' back again, flares up. Rith, with your constitution restored to you this morning since after the vampire attacked you. Still a little bit jarring, but not quite as bad as it was yesterday, as you're ready for it and feeling 100% again. But you guys come back to, and you are standing about 75 feet from the front of the Eastwatch Inn, just on the eastern part of the road that leads into Arabelle.
Head back to the house, I guess.
All right. She will. Good luck. Till I see you again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, Kelnoran and Rowan, you guys getting up at your usual time then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anything you're doing for food, since you guys still don't really have anything in the...
I thought we got a. Didn't we hire somebody?
No, not yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We hadn't gotten that far, huh?
Nope.
Well, she was supposed to cook for you guys a couple days ago,
Yep.
Yep.
and then you guys left. So, but yes, so you guys get up, and again, of course, I mean, Kelnoran's always got a solution for food, so.
Yeah, I can go foraging if you want.
I'm assuming, Lilith, you're staying asleep.
Yep.
I mean,
I'll actually.
she knows where the library's at, right?
Yeah.
We could just go ahead and head on our way and grab something on the way.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
I'll follow you.
Okay. Right. All right. I will lead him to what we have dubbed the library.
Okay.
I'll actually mention to Kovacs. Do we want to head to the Pegasus first?
Oh, to talk to Eli? That's not a bad idea. I mean, we got time.
Weren't supposed to make it back till this evening today.
Go ahead, swing by there, sure.
All right. So you guys are heading towards the Pegasus.
Yeah, we'll switch to heading towards the Pegasus.
Okay.
Get that business
You guys-
over with.
Make your way through. Early morning, so I mean, all four of you notice that things are starting to, like, the town is starting to wake up, or the city is. Vendors setting up as per usual. Carts rolling through the street. People starting to mill about in the morning, getting ready for their days. You make your way over towards the Pegasus. Go for the door, and it is still locked.
Maybe it's too early.
Head home.
Okay. All right. So you guys make your way back to the inn. How long does it take? How long would you say Kelnoran takes in the morning, then, as far as like preparing his spells?
I believe I'm supposed to take up to an hour.
Okay.
If
So-
not, he takes his time.
Sure. Okay. I would assume about an hour or so, but all right. Go back to your myth. I mean, you guys will get back probably as Rowan and Kelnorn are finishing up their conversation about what they're going to do for the day. So you guys hear the door open as you're kind of getting ready to head out.
I grab for my dagger. Who is it?
Just us.
I put my dagger away.
You ride your horses really fast.
Like the wind.
Good apples.
I guess we should have stopped on the way out.
Yeah, I should have got some apples. So, how'd it go?
Good. It was a productive trip.
Very good to see Minnow.
I could imagine that. I would take a trip to see my mentor, but he's way far away, you know. So anyway,
You
What's-
research yet?
Um,
Find
we-
any news?
We just got done planning to go to the library. So no
Ah.
research yet. We did
When you
stop.
guys want to. Sorry,
Sorry,
go ahead.
we
You
did
go ahead.
stop at the post office. They didn't have any clue what we were talking about. But Lilith was asking the questions weirdly, so I'm not sure if that helped.
I'm not surprised. When do we want to go see Eli, by the way?
Well, he seems capable of teleportation, so I guess anytime today. I mean, he might actually be there.
We did stop by the Pegasus is closed currently. A little early in the day.
Yeah, it's quiet in town. I actually like it when it's about this time.
So it might be a little early for the library to be open, huh?
Well, they're clerics. I'm pretty sure they're all awake by now.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been to the library.
That's true.
Wait, do we even need to go to the library?
Well, we didn't find out anything at all on our end.
I just thought
I
maybe.
know who Flame of Agroth claims be and intentions. So maybe not. Ha! But tell Lilith to.
I like where this is going.
I guess one of us will have to go with her so it's not suspicious.
Yeah, and I pat Kerr on the back.
Okay. Yep. It's gonna go great.
So,
Breakfast.
yeah.
Sure.
I was just telling Rowan I can go forage in the city. By that I mean, food trucks. Food carts.
Sure. I thought you were going to say you were going to forage out in the woods, but forage in the city seems a lot better.
Yeah, we're not actually super close to make that convenient. Yeah, I can go in town and get breakfast.
Okay.
We'll have to wait an hour or two, I'm sure, before anyone's open.
I mean, I have an idea of something that I could do to pass the time. Well, I might need a little assistance from one of you, but I mean, it would be the first morning that I could possibly actually train with Kovac, since we said we were going to train in the mornings, but every morning has been
Right.
busy since we made that decision.
Sure. We got time.
I mean, I don't want to tell you what you have to do. I just thought if you were up for it.
I am.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna spend some time training with Kovac.
All right. So you guys work through some blade training and whatnot. So show him either not necessarily like beginner stuff, but refining more of the fighting form he's developed.
Yeah.
Over the time frames. So, and then Kelnorn, you're going in to find food.
Yeah, it's probably too early to actually find somewhere to get food, so I'll be waiting around a couple hours before I head off.
I mean, you guys have found food in the mornings from like some of the food carts themselves, I mean, you're generally talking about more stuff that's kind of grab and go. So I mean, if you're looking for a place where you can get actual food, you can find one of the inns or the inn taverns that are around. They would probably have something that you could potentially take with you. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for stuff that you can take, I mean, the inns at this point are serving people, but the food carts that you've normally stopped at are, like I said, are more of a kind of a quick option.
I'll hit some food carts.
Okay. So if you're just looking for a food cart, I mean, you can find some that have pastries, others that are offering some meats that they have that are ready to go, mostly like salted or smoked type of meats, but not necessarily specifically breakfast food, but
Right.
it's food. And I mean, you have a person that doesn't really care about when they eat meat.
Right.
Oh,
I'll hit them both, and if I can find some place that makes a meat pie to get like the one in the middle between just meat and bread to give us a nice
okay. Go ahead and
selection.
make a perception check.
Sure.
So you can find something.
Perception.
24. Yeah. So you're picking up some pastries and some like smoked meats, and then you look across the way and you see a shop that actually has like meat pies, that the sign in the window is actually flipped to open. And inside they have these sweet bread pastries that are filled with like savory meats and herbs and um, other stuff that sounds pretty tasty. Some of them, they've got some vegetable options as well. But yeah, find something that you feel like would be kind of right in the middle of that.
Right.
Overall, if you're getting food for everybody, you end up spending, say, about 3 gold.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can make your way back with food for everybody. Probably sitting at about 6:30ish right now. As I don't know how long Kovac and Rowan are planning on training in the morning or whatnot. But after about a half hour or so of you guys training, Kelnorn comes back with food. Rith, you're sitting there just kind of waiting, and the smell of meat just hits your nostrils as he's walking through. So,
And I would say, with the smell of food and the sword play outside and the talking outside, I
yeah,
would probably wake up about then
sure.
also.
yeah, you hear the noise of people talking, a little bit annoyed until smell of pastry and meat hits your nostrils, and you're like, oh, yeah, food's a good thing. So,
Blot out.
but
I come bearing gifts of meat, donut, and the Luther Vandross.
Mm. Meat pies. Those are my favorite, Kerr.
I'll remember that. I admit I was thinking more about Rist when I bought them, but they're for everybody. You know.
Well, he can have what's left over. I mean, I don't eat much, but thank you.
all
Yeah,
right,
I'll just eat. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
All
I'll
right.
just eat up and get ready for the day. Otherwise,
we'll go ahead and wrap up tonight's session there then, with you guys getting ready to start the day of either more research or whatever new ventures the party wishes to undertake the next time we get together. But until then, thank you everybody for stopping by. Hope you have a happy Halloween. And before we get on again, it will already have been election day, so make sure you go out and vote, do your patriotic and civic duty, all that fun stuff. So make your voice heard. It's important for everybody. So regardless of whatever. So, but until then, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Until then, keep those dice warm. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.